I remember one time someone with children come here, and after they left, as a kid was walking out the door, he's like, "Mummy, Mummy, when can we come back to the zoo next?" Hi, I'm Julia Dangerfield, and I run a 24/7 wildlife rescue service in Mount Gambier. I rescue any sort of native wildlife, everything from tiny little baby birds to 80-90 kilo kangaroos, and in between, bats, lizards, anything that sort of needs help. So I've been doing it for about 7 years now. I started off in Adelaide when I was at university and have moved back to Mount Gambier and been running a rescue service here for about 2.5 years. Wildlife Rescue, Julia speaking, how can I help you? On average, I receive probably 4 to 5 calls a day, attend probably 2 to 3 rescues a day, and as far as taking animals into care, probably 2 to 5 a week would come into care, either with myself or one of the other local rescuers. There's also a lot of having to assess animals and making the call to end their suffering a lot of the time, which can be quite difficult. So in the past 3 days, I've had to euthanize 7 kangaroos across the area, some as close as 10 minutes away, some as far as just over an hour away from here. So I cover quite a large area. I would estimate that probably about 80 to 90% of my calls would end in euthanasia for the animal, sadly. Elliott, stop nibbling on my arm. So I've had Elliott for almost a year now. He come in as a tiny hairless little baby. Someone had hit and killed his mum sadly and decided they were going to try and keep him, which you really need specialised permits to do. They didn't actually realise that he had a broken arm at the time, which was really quite excruciatingly painful, and he desperately needed vet attention. So thankfully we managed to get the people to pass him over, and he got the attention he required. And he's doing quite well now, as you can see. So I do this out of my home at the moment. One day I'd love to have a massive sanctuary with many, many acres. In South Australia, our kangaroos and wombats can't be released, so at the moment I focus on doing the rescue, the initial triage of the animals, and then sending them off to people that have a lot more property and proper enclosures for them. I certainly do try and keep up to date with some of the animals I've rescued. You do get attached to them and their stories, so I get a lot of picture updates and drop in and visit people when I can. So I make lots of trips to Adelaide and visit lots of people while I'm up there and see all my little babies. It's a lot of work, feeding them every 3 to 4 hours around the clock, 24/7, month after month. There's lots of washing to do, there's lots of bottles to clean and make, and I have not had a night off in probably about 4 years. And even when I do, I've got to feed every 3 to 4 hours, so I've got maybe an hour or two to do something for myself, and then I've got to be back feeding again, so you can't even really go to the cinema and watch a movie. I do a lot of public education on my Facebook page, teaching people when they should report injured animals that a lot of them weren't even aware of, such as reporting deceased marsupials on the sides of the road that need pouch checks, whereas previously a lot of people just drove past. As well as that, I'm working really hard to set up a not-for-profit organisation to help support not only myself but the other carers and shelters in the area, so that we can fundraise and do all sorts of activities to help out those carers, and also have one number that everyone can call. Rescues can be divided up, and just support the other people in the area. Ultimately, I'd really like to change people's views on wildlife and get them to have more respect for them like they would a cat or a dog. I'd really like to change people's views and show them that they're amazing animals. They're so unique and we're really lucky to have them around, and they deserve a lot more respect.